Everybody, and welcome to this brief video to just talk about Milestone 2. You'll see that it's listed under the module for this week, and you'll find the template in there and all the information that you need to actually complete the milestone. But I'm going to go through this real quick to kind of describe what you actually want to try to accomplish. So really, we're at the point now of trying to define the product. You're going to use a generalized target definition that we developed in Milestone 1. And what I mean by that is when instead of using the very specifics of the target market demographics and psychographics, you want to use that more generalized description, like the example I gave was millennial moms. That would be a lot easier to do research on than a bunch of really specific types of variables, okay? So use that generalized target definition, and you want to outline clear statements of what your target's needs are and outline clear statements of your target's wants are. So needs are the things that are tangible, things that we think of. If we go back to the beginning, we talked about consumer behavior, we talked about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And in that hierarchy, the lowest ones on there are the most basic needs that you have, and those have to be fulfilled before you can really move on to your wants. So, so in the realm of marketing, we think about what are the basic needs that are being fulfilled with the product, and what are the wants that are being fulfilled with the product. Now, it's really really important that you take a look at your target market and clearly define with research to understand what their needs and wants are. You have some of those already. I think you've seen things like they're interested potentially in healthy products and things like that. So if that's a need, then or I should say a want, then you can kind of start to picture how that might translate to the product itself. Okay. So the second thing you do, your answer needs to be based on your research. So look for needs and wants for guacamole. Guacamole, if you can find it, good luck with that. I mean, I'm not saying you can't, but you can. You can go back to the research that you did last week and probably draw some conclusions from it. Okay. If you aren't finding a lot there, raise it up a notch. Take a look at what their needs and wants are for condiments or something along those lines. Look that up. And then an absolute last ditch, because it's going to be way too general to be very meaningful, raise it all the way up to find out what their needs or wants are in relationship to food and groceries. So take a look at those things, and it might help you create the definition of the needs and wants that you need to do. From that, you need to outline the features and benefits of your product line. So where do you start? Well, of course, you start with the target market's needs and wants. But you're going to create features. The features, remember, of the product are the more tangible, definable elements of your product. And the benefits are the value the target customer derives from using your product. So the rough formula to think about is the features need to equal the benefits derived. They create the benefits derived. Those benefits derived have to fulfill the needs and wants of the target market. So think of it as a formula in that fashion. The product recipe, of course, is important, but so is packaging form. So do you put it into big tubs? Do you put it into individual containers? There's lots of things to think about, and that is a feature of your product, and that needs to match the needs of your consumer. And the other thing is, please don't invent an entirely new manufacturing process that doesn't exist, or flavors that don't exist, things like that. Try to keep it simple for the purposes of our class project. Okay. And also keep in mind that we're really going to be talking about only one flavor or type of guacamole, not a whole group of them. So I know you may think that, like, as you think about it in the future, you might want to expand your offer some more broadly. You probably don't want to try to do that for the purposes of this project. The second thing you need to do for the milestone 2 is write a position statement. And remember, to write a position statement, you answer 3 basic questions. Who are you trying to persuade? Last week's work, of course, really keeps working for you here. So that's if you did a good job last week, it'll really help you out with this week. Number 2 is you want to know who you're competing with. Think of it from your customer's perspective. What other choices do they have? And see which ones that they would value most. And then number 3 is what makes this company, your product, unique. Some clear advantage over the competitors. As we talked about when we talk about strategy, we talk about core competencies that translate to strategic advantages. Those are the kinds of things you need to be thinking about here, okay? So what I need for you to do here to write this position statement is make sure you've done a little research on the competitive landscape so you understand where they are. Paying the closest attention to those competitors who are closest from a value positioning standpoint as you are. Okay, this is the assignment template. Very quickly, you're going to write a brief description of your persona. And you might say, like, well, I already did that. I said, we're going to do that for every one of our milestones. So it's just kind of a reminder that this is who we are thinking of as we make decisions. I want you to write a section on the needs of your persona. Clearly define the needs of them, minimum of 5. You should be able to find that through your research. That probably translates to 3 or 4 paragraphs of text. Find out what the wants of your persona are. I'm giving you fewer of these because it's a little bit harder research to come by. And so you want a minimum of 3 of those. And then keep in mind the overall strategy of the company. Define the features of the product offer. So think of those very specific features that translate into the product. And then think about the benefits that the consumer derives from those features. Again, also about 3 to 4 paragraphs. And then write a really concise position statement for the product line. The more vague you are, the less meaningful it is. So you want to make it as specific and as concise as you possibly can. So I wish you the best of luck with it, but if you struggle with any part of this, just let me know. The earlier the better. I can help you out, I'm sure, and I wish you the best of luck.